Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive. AI, it's been buzzing around the internet lately and for good reason. We got a listener question that sparked this whole deep dive. It's all about this YouTube podcast script called The Future of AI Technology. What's next?
Yeah, and what I found really interesting is how the script goes beyond the hype and really digs into how AI could change things in our everyday lives
Yeah.
by like 2030.
Right, like forget just setting reminders. Imagine your AI assistant is actually I don't know, arguing with your smart fridge over whether you really need more milk. Yeah.
Exactly. It paints a picture of AI being so integrated into our lives that it's almost like having, well, a superpower personal assistant.
Yeah, almost like a digital sidekick. Which I gotta say is both exciting and a little, I don't know, unsettling. But is this realistic or is it all just sci-fi fantasy?
Well, the script makes the point that we're already seeing the groundwork for a lot of this stuff, like in smart home devices, personalized medicine.
Oh yeah, true. Like I read that AI is already analyzing tons of medical data, trying to predict health risks before people even show symptoms.
Exactly. And the script suggests that by 2030, this kind of AI-powered healthcare could be way more common, almost like having a personal health guardian constantly working to keep you healthy.
Okay, that's kind of cool, but hold on. What about jobs? If AI is doing everything, are we all gonna be out of work?
The script tackles that head on, actually. It says that, yeah, AI will probably automate a lot of those like repetitive jobs, the ones nobody really wants to do anyway.
Right. Makes sense.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. It also says that AI will create totally new jobs too. Like, think about it. 10 years ago, nobody knew what a social media manager was.
True.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to be ready to adapt, learn new skills,
Yeah.
maybe even end up working with AI in ways we can't even imagine yet.
Exactly. Adaptability, that's going to be key. But, thinking about all this makes me wonder, even if AI can predict illnesses, does everyone have access to that kind of technology? Or does it just widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots?
Yeah, that's a really important point. And I think it leads us right into the whole ethical side of AI, which the script definitely doesn't shy away from.
Not at all. In fact, it jumps right into it.
Yeah.
It talks about all sorts of ethical concerns like algorithmic bias and even autonomous weapons. Scary stuff.
Okay, yeah. Let's dive into those ethical dilemmas. I know the script mentions things like, hold on, was it bias in facial recognition technology?
Right. So the script points out that if we're using AI to make decisions that impact people's lives, like in law enforcement or loan applications, we got to make sure it's fair.
Yeah, totally. If AI is making judgments, we got to be super careful about bias. Otherwise, it's just perpetuating existing inequalities.
Exactly. And the script even goes as far as suggesting like a global governing body for AI, almost like a UN for AI,
Hmm.
to deal with these ethical challenges.
Wow, a UN for AI.
Yeah.
That's a big idea. And what about deepfakes? The script talked about AI creating fake videos that are so real you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, and that could be used to spread misinformation,
Yeah.
manipulate people. It's a serious concern for sure.
Right. Like if we can't even trust what we see and hear anymore, what does that do to our sense of reality?
It's definitely a slippery slope. But the script does offer some potential solutions, things like blockchain technology to verify the authenticity of content and AI detection tools to help us spot the fakes.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like fighting fire with fire.
In a way, but it also comes back to us. We need to be more media literate, more critical of the information we're consuming,
Yeah.
especially in a world where AI is creating so much of it.
So it sounds like this future with advanced AI, it's going to require a lot of responsibility from all of us, not just the people developing it, but everyone using it.
Absolutely. It's like we're standing at this fork in the road with all these different paths we could take, and the choices we make now are going to have a huge impact on where we end up.
And speaking of different paths, the script also gets into some really mind-bending territory when it starts talking about AI consciousness.
Now that's where things start to feel like a sci-fi movie.
I mean, AI, that's not just smart, but actually like self-aware. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around.
It really is.
Mhm.
Like, it makes you question what it even means to be conscious. The script mentions how philosophers and scientists are already debating this whole AI consciousness thing.
So it's not just science fiction anymore.
Not at all. It's becoming a serious topic of discussion.
Mhm.
And it's not just about, like, whether AI can think, but also whether it could have feelings, even rights.
Wow, rights for robots. That's a whole other level. It's like something out of Blade Runner,
Yeah.
where the line between humans and machines gets all blurry.
Exactly. And the script points out that we're still in the early stages of figuring all this out. Like, most AI today is really good at recognizing patterns, but actual self-awareness, that's still a big mystery.
Okay, so we've got these ethical dilemmas and this whole mind-bending concept of AI consciousness. But the script also talks about AI solving some of our biggest problems, like climate change, or even designing missions to Mars.
Right? It's like AI could be this incredible tool for good, analyzing huge amounts of data, coming up with solutions we can never even think
So
of.
it's not all doom and gloom.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But the script also makes it clear that AI is just a tool. It's up to us to use it responsibly to make sure it's actually making the world a better place.
Okay, that makes sense. So even if AI can help us solve global problems, there's still the question of how it'll interact with us on a personal level. Remember that listener question about whether AI will ever understand human emotions?
Yeah, that's a big one. And it gets into this whole field of effective computing, which is basically AI that tries to recognize and respond to our emotions.
So like AI therapists,
Yeah.
robot best friends, is that what we're talking about?
Well, maybe not quite that advanced yet.
Yeah.
But there are already apps that try to simulate empathy and provide companionship. Like Replica is one
Oh, yeah,
example.
yeah, I've heard of that. But is that really understanding emotions, or is it just a really good imitation?
That's the key question. The script makes a distinction between mimicking emotions and actually understanding them.
Right. Like an actor can play a role convincingly without actually feeling those emotions.
Exactly. And a lot of what we see with current emotional AI is basically sophisticated pattern recognition. It can detect facial expressions, analyze your tone of voice, and respond in a way that seems empathetic.
But does that mean the AI is actually feeling anything?
That's the debate,
Mm.
and kind of circles back to the whole consciousness question. If AI can't truly understand its own existence, can it really understand the complexities of our emotions?
Hmm. That's a good point. So maybe true emotional AI is still a long way off.
Maybe. But even if AI never fully grasps the nuances of human emotion, the script suggests that even mimicking those emotions could have a big impact.
Right. Like imagine customer service chatbots that can actually de-escalate a situation by sounding calm and understanding.
Or personalized learning programs that adapt to a student's emotional state.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But it also kind of makes you think about the potential for misuse. Like, could AI be used to manipulate people by playing on their emotions?
Definitely something to consider,
Mm-hmm.
which is why the script emphasizes the need for ethical guidelines and regulations as AI gets more sophisticated.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from AI assistance to the possibility of conscious robots to the question of whether AI can ever truly understand us. It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it's clear that the future of AI is full of both amazing possibilities and potential pitfalls.
So what does all this mean for our listener? What are the key takeaways from this deep dive into the future of AI?
Well, one thing that really stuck with me from the script is that the future of AI isn't something that's just going to happen to us.
Right. It's not like some inevitable destiny.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
something we're all actively shaping through the choices we make today.
Yeah, and that actually connects back to something we were discussing earlier. You know that listener question about AI understanding human emotions?
Oh, yeah.
Well, as we've been talking about all this, I keep thinking about how we as humans define and express emotions. It's not always straightforward.
That's a great point. The script focuses on AI's ability to recognize and respond to our emotions. But you're right, emotions themselves are super complex. What might seem like a clear signal to one person could be interpreted totally differently by someone else.
Exactly. And if we have trouble understanding each other's emotions sometimes, how can we expect AI to get it right?
That's a really interesting question. It makes you wonder if true emotional intelligence requires more than just data analysis and pattern recognition.
Right. Like maybe it requires a shared understanding of the human experience, the kind of empathy that goes beyond just recognizing external cues.
Yeah, can AI truly learn to understand emotions without actually experiencing them firsthand?
That's a big one. And it kind of gets back to that whole consciousness thing again.
It does. If AI can't feel emotions, can it really understand them, let alone respond to them in a meaningful way?
Right. So maybe the idea of an AI therapist or a truly empathetic companion is still a ways off.
Possibly. But even if AI never fully grasps the nuances of human emotion, the script suggests that even mimicking emotions could have a significant impact.
Oh, yeah, true. Like, think about customer service. Imagine AI chatbots that can actually de-escalate a tense situation with calming words.
Or personalized learning programs that adapt to a student's emotional state.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
They are. But we also have to be aware of the potential for misuse. Like, could AI be used to manipulate people by playing on their emotions?
That's a good point. It's like any powerful technology. It can be used for good or bad.
Exactly. Which is why the script emphasizes the need for ethical guidelines and regulations. As AI gets more sophisticated, we need to make sure it is being developed and used responsibly.
Absolutely. So this deep dive has taken us on quite a journey, from AI assistance to the possibility of